It's been a long,
Give me a little clink.
oh yeah, this is gonna be our sync. Nice.
Yeah, dude.
Did that even show up?
Doesn't matter. AI technology now, you can sync up audio and video with a click of a button. Times have changed.
Yes, we have to recap the last year of change and AI. Dude, literally since we stopped the podcast, AI's taken over.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Yeah, we're actually not here right now.
fucking Russia and Ukraine are still going at it.
Yeah.
The fucking
We got to answer the age-old question, though.
what's that?
Where the fuck have the boys been?
Literally around the world.
Yeah, dude. So
Okay, you go. Well, actually, here's an update. Noah's one limb black now.
yeah, dude.
Gotta flex that real quick. My boy was not this dark last time you saw him.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
This
partially
man's fucking blasted.
faded as well. Yeah, it was a hell of a 9 months since our last encounter.
Yeah, dude. We've long story short, I don't know, like we mentioned it. Did we mention it?
We did.
Before we left?
Because I was talking about. There's a clip, or not a clip. I was watching our last thing, and I was talking about getting my Arc'teryx jacket, or I haven't gotten it yet. Sorry.
Damn.
And the Arc'teryx jacket is over there. They took my money.
He fucking got it.
They took my money.
Let's go. So yeah, the boys went to Japan, and then we
dude.
went to Bali.
We're globetrotting.
Globetrotting
Hit
around the whole place. Trey went to Japan for 3 months.
Yeah, hit my 24th and 25th country visited.
Yeah, dude.
Pretty fired up.
And the funny thing about Japan is I wasn't even like don't get me wrong, I was fired up to go, but I wasn't like one of those weebs, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you weren't
people who
like-
are like anime fired up to go to Japan is
I
different.
wouldn't even call it like there's like there's multiple different tiers of like people that want to visit Japan. There's like the fucking anime weeb people. There's fucking people, I guess, that in your thing where you're like, man, it's gonna be fun. And then
Well, it's not
there's people that like just idolize Japan nearly to a fault. Like
Yeah,
they can
yeah, they
do no
idolize it,
wrong.
yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah,
well, it's not that. It's not like that. But it was insane.
but it was insane because
was
I went
gas.
into it with very like it's not that I went into it with low expectations. I didn't really know like the areas of Japan. Like
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
really like.
You
I
didn't
didn't
study
have
up.
it planned out, dude. I booked my flight. I'm like, all right, I'm meeting fucking Trey here.
Yeah, you didn't study the tape.
I didn't study the fucking tape.
No.
I just booked my flight, booked this time off of like work and shit.
Yeah.
Save up the money and stuff. I'm like, all right, we're just going.
Yeah.
Wherever the fuck we had an Airbnb for 2 days.
Yeah.
In fucking Tokyo, and then
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 we'll
we scrambled.
Yeah, go on the fly from there. Nearly fucked us on that first
Oh
one.
yeah, dude.
My man, shout out to my man Gomez for fucking making it work for the boys.
Yeah. So like,
Let-
first of all, we need to start this with like the travel experience going
I
there.
was gonna say, let's start from the beginning.
Let's start from the very beginning, boys, because we got a lot of catching up to do, as they say. So Trey went to Japan. How long before me? A month and a half before me.
A month and a half, yeah. So it was like our last pod came out. We had been chinwagging about fucking whatever, my Arc'teryx jacket and some other shit. And then I think it was like a month after that, maybe 3 weeks after that, I took off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Japan on my own for the first 5 days. I was there alone, just exploring, taking pics, shooting the shit,
Yep.
enjoying myself.
Learning the native tongue.
Learning the native tongue, yes. I did study Japanese for about a month and a half before I left, and lost it all already. But when I was there, I was able to talk a little bit with the locals. It was fun.
Yeah.
They would. You'd go up to them, and it's like the most obvious thing that I'm, a gaijin, American kind of person. I'm not American, obviously, but like
Tourist.
That's what they think. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, American.
A white man.
And
You are a white man.
I'd open up with a little Japanese, and like you'd see like the look of like, hell
trying.
yeah, he's trying.
He's trying.
He sucks ass, but he's trying.
And you're just trying to buy like some chips at a
Yeah.
7-Eleven.
Yeah. And no, dude, actually, like for first day going there, I got there, went through like the most brutal fucking like visa experience ever, like in the airport, like just going through customs and shit. Took me like 4.5 hours.
Oh yeah.
With-
First of all, like you go to somewhere else, like you go to Europe. Like I've been to Europe, like Eastern Europe. You go anywhere around there. You go to a new country, like you fly in. Security's like it's there. They got dogs. They got like metal detectors and shit.
Yeah.
But like you go to Japan, dog, and it was like, yeah, let me scan your eyeballs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me scan your fingerprints.
Scan
I'm like,
your
hey, dude,
thumbs.
now I know everyone's so in line.
Yeah.
Because they got your fucking fingerprints
Yeah.
to everybody.
It's like you finally, after waiting in this zigzag line for like legit. I was in there for 4 hours, and I was telling the boys before they got
Yeah.
there. I was like, boys, you guys are just be prepared. You're in for a hell of a time in the customs. They get there, they're like, yeah, we got through in like 10 minutes. What are you
Oh
talking
yeah,
about?
dude, it was a fucking
Like, what the
breeze. It was a breeze.
Fuck.
It was a breeze. Except I was
fuck happened
shitting
to
my
me?
pants on the flight. So
Oh, hell
my
yeah.
travel experience there was, I had not been anywhere besides like Vegas.
Yeah.
And Vegas is I just went with like a carry on, and
Yeah.
it's just very easy.
Yeah.
Since I went to Europe like 3-4 years because of the COVID and all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And I'm a fucking idiot, and for some reason, like I walk in the YVR in the airport, and I'm like, okay. International flights, cool. My dad was dropping me off. I'm like, okay, see you, father. I'm going to international flights, right?
Yeah.
Walk through. I already had my boarding pass on my phone.
Yeah.
Walk to international flights. I have my big ass travel backpack, not a carry-on bag.
Yeah, didn't check it in.
Go through like a couple things. No, I did not check it in. I
Yeah.
just go through, and these fuckers. I realize I don't realize like what I'm because I haven't been to the airport in so long. I put it through the scan thing, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And nobody's saying nothing, so I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, whatever. Go through, and then all of a sudden I'm walking through my big ass backpack. I'm just at the gate. I'm like, fuck, I forgot I never checked in my
Yeah.
fucking bag, right?
Yeah.
So I had a air tag in my bag, and so I was freaking out. I'm like, oh shit, and don't get me wrong, I took a 25 milligram edible right before I fucking walked in the airport.
So you're
like
gooned.
because no. So as I'm realizing that I don't have my, I never checked
you're
my
like,
bag, and
I
I'm like,
didn't-
I'm starting to get higher. I'm like, I need to solve this right now, or I'm gonna walk up to somebody like, I have my bag, and they're gonna be like, this guy's not going on the flight, dude.
You're like losing
I'm
losing brain
consciousness.
cells.
Yeah, dude.
You're
I'm
like
bleeding out.
Yeah,
I'm bleeding out.
your head is like everything's slowing down. It's like, oh no, I forgot to check my bag.
I forgot. to check. It's like the scene from The Wolf of Wall Street when he takes the lewds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, hey, I forgot to check my bag. Like, where'd I go? And there, it's just me. I'm on the floor. This guy.
I got home, not a scratch on her. Totaled.
Just total, dude.
Um,
Clothes everywhere. It's just 5 pounds.
that's 2 pounds.
Uh,
Okay, hold on.
No,
Finish
no,
up what
let
you're
me
saying, and then we're
we
gonna
just
go
got
back.
so much fucking to discuss.
We
fellas.
do
It's
have-
great to be back. It honestly, it feels good. We're back to the OG setup, one camera, just fucking less stress. It was getting a little bit stressful, but
Yeah.
it's all good. So basically, yeah, I'm getting higher and higher. I'm like, I need to figure this out. My air tag's in my bag, right?
Yeah.
So I talked to this lady, and she's the lady at like whatever the gate right outside the Air Canada thing, and I'm like, yo, I fucked up. I didn't check this shit. She's like, okay, it's fine. Like, I'll go get you like a tag, and then when you go into the flight, leave it outside the door.
Yeah.
Of
No, someone will pick it up. For
someone will pick it up and put it into the thing.
you. Yeah.
And so I'm like, we're obviously still in Canada. I still have like all my normal phone things. So I'm tracking the thing. We go to board on the flight. I put the bag down, and it's kind of like, it's not right outside the door. There's like an L.
Yeah, it's like a corner.
And it's on the corner,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, you know where you put the things,
Because
right?
I've seen it before. I'd
Yeah,
be
you've
like
seen it
walking
before.
and people left their bags there.
Yeah,
Weird.
because sometimes they say like, oh, if someone wants to put their carry-on in the check-in thing, they can. Blah blah blah. And so I put my bag there, and I'm in the flight, and I'm like, fuck. I'm kind of freaking. I'm high as fuck, so I'm
Yeah,
starting to freak out. I'm like, they're not gonna put it on the plane.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not gonna. I fucked up. Blah blah blah. And we take off, and I'm watching the air tag thing, and it's still in the airport, and I'm flying away. I'm like, oh my fucking god. I'm like freaking out the whole flight. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And I was watching it till like for like an hour, dude.
Yeah.
Like they say turn your phone off, but like, yeah. Anyways,
Boy, got to make sure if the bags.
long story short, they put it on the plane. I'm
Yeah.
guessing when they put it in the underside of the
It
plane.
just never.
Yeah.
Never caught up.
Well, I'm guessing all the metal around it cut
Oh,
the
that's-
signal, right?
yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Just appears like it's like the air tag comes out of the place. Oh my god, I'm in Japan. What the fuck?
What the fuck? But yeah.
So my travel experience much less hectic than Noah's. Actually no, that's a fucking lie. I forgot about this. I just remembered, and it just made me really mad. Going to the airport, I was doing all this research, and I was like, yeah, 2 vaccines is enough. Because this is like very tail end of COVID. It's like, yeah, 2 vaccines is enough to get in Japan. I'm like, cool. So that's all I got. Just got fully vaxxed.
Because Japan just opened up for travel like a couple months before we went, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, officially open.
Yeah.
So I get to the airport and then I realized like the day before that I actually needed a little Zimbabwe,
Mm-hmm.
a little Zinachino,
Yeah.
a little fucking. Trying to think of more. Anyway, so I realized a couple days before.
Little Optimus Prime.
Fuck! Wow.
Anyways, continue. COVID vaccine.
Yeah. So I realized a couple days before you actually needed 3, and I was like, well, I'm not getting the 3rd one, so I'm just gonna get a test beforehand. I'm like, oh yeah,
that's an option.
At the airport, they'll have it available. I'll just be able to do a fucking test, and I'll be. Fucking long story long, these fuckers rinsed me $480 for a fucking PCR test that I know for a fact was actually just a fucking rapid test to get it to me within the hour. Rinsed me. I was pissed.
Yeah, because like you had all your shit dialed out to like save money.
Yes.
And like how much you want to spend for each day, and all of a sudden, boom, 3 days of 4 days of fucking spending gone.
Me, bro. I was pissed. Anyway, get on the flight. I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna get over it. Whatever.
480.
Oh yeah.
I remember you like called me and you're like, dude, they were fucking. I like
so
filled
mad.
out the sheet and the guy's like, oh, you have like express and then there's fucking like super express option.
And it was like another $200.
Yeah. And he's like, no, you need the super express. And then you were like, I better see some fucking guy full tilt sprinting across the airport.
Yeah, no, for real.
Taking the test and he's gone.
Running.
They better be hiring Olympic sprinters.
I better see Usain Bolt with my package.
Gone.
Straight pin down the fucking lane.
I'm paying you $480.
Yeah,
an
hour. That's
to
like
dip my fucking.
That's more than some people make in like a week, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Like fucking kill me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
that's how they get it.
That was fucking done. Stupid. Like the last bullshit of COVID, the last gasp of bullshit. Get.
Continue.
Oh, sorry. I get on the plane. Everything's good. I'm fucking chilling. Get through like not like my last travel experience where I like missed my flight and all that bullshit. Like I get on my flight. Everything's chilling. The fucking flight itself was great. Didn't take an edible this time.
You watch a movie?
Yeah.
I watched Puss in Boots.
Which Puss in Boots? The new one? Oh,
yeah.
I still haven't seen that. I want to see that. Anyway,
it's good. It's a good movie.
Yeah, so I heard.
I don't remember what else I did. Well, the thing is, when I take an edible, it just like fucking knocks me out.
Oh yeah.
So that's why.
That was the point. Yeah.
That was the point, right? But yeah,
I was so gassed up. I didn't sleep on the plane.
I have some like a little bit of like stomach problems that have occurred in the last year, and it was kind of like hurting my tummy when I was on the flight because they were feeding me like the worst food of all time. Like, bro, like imagine someone who has like stomach disease and then all of a sudden you're getting fed tuna fucking sandwiches on the flight.
Oh god,
and
it's
like
running through.
And
me.
as soon as we cross into like Asia, they're feeding me weird Asian foods. I'm like, I don't want this.
Yeah,
PB&J, please.
Something straight.
Yeah, what is it? Seaweed noodles? I don't want this.
So I get on the flight, get through, have my ordeal with the fucking 4-hour customs thing. My back is killing me.
Oh,
by the time I get through, I'm like I'm sweaty. I stink. Haven't slept.
You got your bag on you yet? No.
Yeah, because I didn't check my bag. Remember?
You gotta carry on.
Yeah, I just bring my camera bag with me when I travel now. After the last big travel, like I took way too much shit and I was like just stupid. So I literally brought 2 pairs of clothes with me, like a bunch of underwear and socks and all that shit, and my camera gear, and that was it. And I just went like try to go as minimalist as I could. So I get to Japan. Excuse me. And after a fucking the ordeal of getting into the country itself, I finally get in there.
Bro, I just opened like the savor tin of this Zin and there's someone's hair in it. I have not opened this up yet.
Hell yeah.
Interesting. Anyways.
The fucking sweatshop Chinese ladies' hairs in your thing.
Dude, oh no, COVID 2.0.
Yeah. Oh god. So I get into the country and like get on the train, get off at Nippori Station in Tokyo, and it's like nighttime. It's like I think it was like 8 p.m. by the time I finally got fucking in there. I landed at 4, so that gives you context.
Yeah.
The next day I haven't slept. Like I'm fucking bag tired. Get out, and I'm like, dude, like you walk out, and it's like that classic, like I just entered like the fucking like cyberpunk fucking. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
and it's like there's people everywhere. Like immediately, like you get hit with a bunch of different smells and sounds, and it's like total culture shock. And I was like, holy fuck,
Yeah.
like I'm
We made
fucking
it.
yeah, I'm fucking here, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I get to my Airbnb, and it's like a dude that like owns this apartment building and just
Oh yeah.
rents out all the rooms.
Airbnb, right?
Yeah. And his like this dude's like he total beauty. He's like it's late a little bit, so I think he's a little bit like, oh yeah, let's try and get you in the room quickly, and gets me in there, and he's like, oh, my wife will make you lunch every day, and I was like, okay, thank
Okay.
you, and he's like, do you like egg salad? And I was like,
yeah.
yeah. I was like,
Dude, I love eggs.
dude, you would have been fired up for these things because she like customized them.
Oh.
I was telling you about this. So I'd get like these egg salad sandwiches, and the fucking bread, dude, the bread would be rolled out, so like they'd be like thin bread, so that she could pack more egg salad in there. Dude, it was like
And you know, this is generations. Of
generation
egg
of egg salad,
techniques.
100%. But they would also put in these like the one time it was like a deep fried ball of like corn
Little
and something.
crunch?
Yeah. It had a little crunch texture in there.
Ooh.
She put some meat in there one time, like a little patty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, it was
This guy's
good.
just getting 80 grams of protein.
It was good. Oh yeah, it was good. And that's the first day. I woke up, and I'm like, dude, the day when I woke up,
Yeah.
I'm like, I woke up at like 5 in the morning, and I was like, like, where the fuck am I? Like, I am so out to lunch. Woke up at 8, and I was just bag tired. Like
8 a.m.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I slept properly that night because normally jet lag doesn't hit me very hard. It hit me like a fucking freight train.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is insane. Like, so I was like down and out the first day, just like chilling. But yeah, I get like the guy gives me, he's like drops it off in like a little mailbox outside my door. I pick it up, eating the egg salad, and I'm like, oh, what's this? Corn potage? Oh, let's try this.
It's the start of an addiction.
Unreal, yeah, for real, unreal. There's like Japanese stores in Vancouver that we've visited since coming home, and I can't find this stuff anywhere. But I showed the guy at the front desk, and I was like, it's like
Because they have them.
corn potage doko desu ka? And he's like, oh, dude, sold out. Everybody loves it. I'm like, oh
Dude,
god.
there's nothing more demoralizing than speaking Japanese to like a person or whatever.
Yeah,
and
they
speak
answer
English
back
to
in
you.
English, and
Like,
it's like,
bro.
bro.
Like that time that we had we were out for food or whatever like that, and you're like, oh, dosho samadeshita, and he's like,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, my travels, it was a great time. Lost as fuck. I'm like, I'm not the best with directions, but when I'm traveling, I can fucking figure it out. You know what I mean?
That's an overstatement.
Bro,
Bro's
no, dude,
legitimately.
don't get me wrong.
Bro's legitimately retarded.
You know what I
comes
feel
to
like?
Cardinal directions.
No. When I'm traveling with Trey, I just feel like one of those fish that like suck on the back of a whale shark or something, and
Yeah,
I just
thanks.
follow him, and I can just be like spaced out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just follow. I'm like, okay, he's gonna figure it out. But like when I'm by myself, I can figure it out.
Yeah.
I can figure it out.
Just
but
takes a little
I gotta
extra.
fucking actually
Gotta
think
dial
about
it
it.
in.
I gotta dial it in, right?
Steam's coming out the ears.
So when I get in there, when I go, I figure it out. I get out of the airport, get through the whole security. They take my fingerprints, my DNA, whatever the fuck they stole from me.
Stool sample.
Stool sample. Oh
Cum
yeah. They're like,
sample.
oh god, this guy fucked up.
Sir, please not in the bottle. Okay. Right here?
Yeah. White semen. Oh wow. Gonna get canceled.
I've never right here? Yes, sir. Oh my god, so big. Okay, and to be fair, here's another thing. People would immediately think like, oh, that's so stereotypical accent of you, and that, dude, the first fucking old man I saw when I went out for like my first walk in Japan.
Yeah.
First old man, he was looking in a window, and I was looking. Oh my god, look at that old dude. He's just window shopping. First thing I hear, oh, it's like, oh my god, they do it. It's real. Hit the Wojak fucking. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. No, but I make it through the airport, and at this point, I'm like, I gotta meet up with Trey. I gotta find Trey somehow. I activate. We got like these eSIMs, so I think
Yeah,
I have data on my phone. But at this point in time, I didn't know how much. I had like 20 gigabytes for the month, so I'm like, oh, I gotta
Conserve.
like conserve.
Yeah.
Little did I know, like it's unlimited basically.
Basically,
Um,
the
so
eSIMs, the way they work for some reason, it's like you could watch a YouTube video and it's like, yeah, you used 20 megabytes of your data. Back home, I watched a YouTube video, 6 gig gone.
Gone.
Like
like
that.
where it's like, oh, it's background apps. Background apps.
Yeah. What are you talking? Who's tracking me?
So I'm making it. I'm going through the airport. I take this train. It's very easy. It's like you can either take like the subway to where we were going to. I took the Skyliner, right? So it's just one long train. I go to one station, and now my
You went to UNO.
my situation is to find Trey, right? And Trey's gonna be waiting somewhere in the train station for me. I'm like trying to make my way through. I'm buying like these little small tickets to like get out the gate.
I have
And I
video
keep
of
putting
this.
them in like, yeah. We'll throw in the video or something, but I'm putting it in like to get to the into the Skyliner the first time.
Yeah.
I put in my ticket and it like gets stuck in the machine, and the guy comes out and he's like looking at me like I'm a retard, and he like takes the thing out, slides it through, and then hands it back to me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Going through. I get on the right train. Nobody on this train, right?
Yeah.
I'm just looking out and listening to great tunes, like jet lagged as all fuck because I really didn't sleep. Like, and so
like the
we
middle
make
of
it
the
through,
day.
and then there's not really like an exciting end to the story. I found Trey.
Yeah.
I found Trey,
The
and it
boys
all
met
worked
up.
out.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that was the start of a fucking amazing adventure.
Yes.
But yeah, we go back to our hotel room. We had like this
Little Airbnb.
little Airbnb because the plan was we're just gonna get this Airbnb for 2 days. We're gonna like settle in. I'll get my fucking sleep schedule back up, and then we'll go to like a hostel or another Airbnb or situation, and we'll figure it out. Because in 2 weeks, another one of our friends was meeting us, right? So, Trey and I had this great idea. We're like, oh yeah, day 2. We're like, oh okay, we cooked up. We go out to a little like grocery store, superstore, got some steaks because the steaks are just fucking crazy. Crazy,
I'll
dude.
throw some pictures into.
Like, yeah, throw some pictures in, bro. Like out here, like you get a Wagyu steak, it's like $700.
Dude,
something like that, right?
The one steak I had like before everyone got there. That's the one that I remember because it was $17, and it was like the fucking creamiest goddamn marbling I've ever seen on a steak, and it was like I shoved it up with, like, you don't need to cook it with butter. I did because I was just like, I need some oil in the pan, right?
Yeah.
Had that. I bought the steak and then saved on the sides and bought a little cup noodle and like a little salad.
Yeah.
Like eat that up. I'm like cutting into the steak. Perfect cook. I'm watching Harry Potter 4, The Goblet of Fire, and they're like doing like the trials because I'd never watched the Harry Potter movies before going.
Yeah.
And I was watching them before with my girlfriend, so I just continued watching them. Have like a couple beers and a sake, like a 1-cup sake. I'm like, yeah, this is like my like third meal in Japan. I'm just like eating. I'm like, oh my god, this is the best. Why didn't I wish I came here fucking 5 years ago, bro?
Yeah.
This is gas.
$17. Like you go through the supermarkets in Japan, bro, and it's actually crazy. Like you can get a really good steak.
No, dude, I don't even
for like $10.
I don't think it's that crazy. I think we're just getting fucked from behind, like back chops by the government, 24/7. It's brutal. Cause like coming home, dude, and you go to the store and you're like, I'm just gonna get a couple bags of chips and this and that and whatever, $40.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we were getting when Ian got there. This is like later in the trip. We were getting fucking 2 liters of whiskey and like a bunch of bags of chips.
Yeah, dude.
And food and this and that and the other for $50.
Yeah.
So like, what the fuck?
So Trey and I
talk about the first night.
Yeah. So first night was all like normal. I went to bed early.
Mm-hmm.
We were literally in this fucking cement room Airbnb with the craziest engineered bathroom I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like you know the bathrooms. Like, think of a bathroom that's on a RV. Like, you know how it has like the sliding door that
Yeah.
seals shut so no water can get out. This one was like sealed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, it gets all steamy in there. That's cool. There's like this little.
There's a panel
There's
on
a
the outside of
panel
the
on the
door.
wall with
Yeah.
all these things. Don't know what it means.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay.
Where
And
we're
I'm like trying to Google Translate. Don't know what the fuck this means.
Yeah.
It's just like cool, hot, like
Yeah.
like dry. I'm like dry.
Yeah.
What the fuck does this mean? I click dry. Thing turns into a
Wind tunnel.
wind tunnel, dude.
And you're like, holy shit.
off. Dries you off without a towel.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Craziness. Yeah.
Crazy. This thing is
Oh,
like,
dude. Okay, and then sorry, the shower. That shower specifically was crazy. The bidet experience.
the bidet. It's tough to get used to.
Oh, I
Because,
I
like-
loved it, dude.
Well, I like it now.
I like mine because
Yeah.
after coming home from Japan, my birthday passed recently, and Noah bought me a. No, it wasn't for Christmas.
I got it for Christmas.
For Christmas, he bought for Christmas. He bought me a bidet. Kind of meme, kind of obviously really useful utilitarian tool.
Yeah, so I was like, "What are you gay?" You're like, "No, dude, it's a utilitarian tool, bro."
Dude, I fucking.
It's
just
efficient.
like hey, bro, look at the commercial. You wash your hands after you shit, but you don't fucking wash your ass.
Yeah, dude.
It's gross. It's gross.
Dude, what if we have into another pandemic and everybody's shitting their like
Yeah, everyone's got poo.
everyone's stealing toilet paper? You're chilling.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. No, dude, so
But
the
the
thing
bidet.
about the bidet is there is like you can like set the fucking water temperature, set the heat of the seat. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like instead of sitting like when you sit down and someone's been on the toilet recently and it's
Yeah.
kind of that uncomfortable, gross warm.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It's just like lukewarm to the touch. And you're like,
Mhm.
I'd rather have cold.
Yeah.
But like these things get like inside your car.
You know what it's
hot.
like? You know what it's like?
Like car
Think
seat
of a
warmers.
cold like fall day when it's raining
Yeah,
and you get in your car.
yeah.
And
Turn the
and
heat
it-
seater on.
Yeah, the
That's
heated
what I'm
seat
saying.
on.
That's
it's
what I'm
like
saying.
that, but it's like warm and inviting.
Heat
and it's
seater,
like
seat heater.
Yeah, it's like the heated seat, and it's just kind of like you sit on it, and then you just feel it in your bones, like poo in me,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Wait, what?
pee in me, poo in me. The toilet, like it's just like the toilet.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, that joke flopped.
That-
We might be rusty.
me a second.
We might be rusty on the pod. It's just a fucking.
took me a second. Look at it. What? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, but
Oh,
dude,
yeah,
I
yeah.
was-
No, the toilet, like, you'd walk in the door and the toilet seat would come up and it would be like, give it to me. You're such a big boy. Oh, fuck.
Give it to me, Chandler.
Better Call Saul reference for
That's
those
a funny,
who know.
funny meme. But bro, it's like that. Like the toilet seat would like go up.
You'd shit and it would go, yum, 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 yum.
Oh, fuck, that's a big. Oh, it's so big.
Oh, fuck.
So big, bro. And then I shit in there with like my fucking, with my like Crohn's situation. And it's just what the fuck, bro.
This is not what it's supposed to look like.
Instantly calls 911.
He's bleeding out.
Yeah,
Oh my
I take a
God.
shit in there. Alarm goes off. It's just, go to the hospital. Oh my God! I'm like, what is going on?
Wow.
Uh,
No, so comparatively, we talked about the heated seat. It's very warm and toasty on the buns. The water's warm, but like you press the button to like activate it to like go gadget poo, and it like you hear it like revving up the engine.
and you're getting prepped. You're like,
You're like, oh
shit,
God,
dude.
here we go.
It feels like when you're on a roller coaster and you're about to go over the edge. You're fucking prepped.
Yeah, you're dialed in now, and
Yeah.
it's like you're like sitting there, you're like, huh, and then it's like, and it hits. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
And dude,
And it's strong.
some
dude.
of these
them are
things,
powerful.
dude, the one
because they got like plus and minus buttons for
Oh.
power, right?
there was one. It
Yeah.
was in a fucking. Oh my God, what's it called? Bic camera. It was in a Bic camera. I went in there and it literally punctured. I felt violated after I left.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, but then so
Yeah.
comparatively, the one I have is like it's a little dial for like intensity. So like you hit the button, and then you like slowly turn the dial up, and it's like oh you get yourself
Yeah.
positioned, and then
Yeah.
fucking crank it.
Yeah.
Make sure you get it,
Yeah.
wash it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it starts with a little Poseidon's kiss.
Yeah.
And then and
and
then
then
it
it
takes your
revs up.
soul.
Yeah, takes your innocence. Oh God.
Oh fuck.
Okay, we
Yeah,
got
dude.
we got fucking way off.
Well, we can like we clear the SD and keep going maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
But so sorry, I just like basically I got there. I was there for a few days alone.
Dude, I'm sorry. This
Getting
pod's just off the rails because I'm so excited to tell you. There's so much
yes,
stuff.
yes.
Um.
It's been so long, and there's so many things to tell. But
Uh.
so I'll just gonna quickly recap the trip. I got there 5 days later. I was exploring things. Our buddies Carson, Trevor, and Jakey got there. We went around for like a quick. It was like Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Koyasan, back to Tokyo. Oh, we had a Hiroshima day in there as well. And we what was it? Yeah, we went for I think they were there for 16 days, just over 2 weeks, and then they dipped, and then I was there alone for another 2 weeks before you got there. So I went up north and I bounced. I headed all the way up to Sapporo, and then Hakodate, and then that was in like Hokkaido, like the northern island. Came down and went to a place just outside of Aomori, which is a big city called Hirosaki. It's known for its apples. And I
Okay.
met this German guy there. He was
Nice.
dope. He
Nice.
was biking from the northern coast all the way down to the south.
Yep.
And then I went to Sendai and then back to Tokyo and back to the share house I was staying in with a bunch of people that I had met, they were all dope. And then Noah got there. We had our Airbnb and then went back to the share house. That was the guy Gomez. He was the one that owned it. Japanese dude. He's a beauty. Introduced Noah to all the people that I met there. They were all super chill. And then we were there for like 10 days, I think.
We were there for 14 days.
Were we there
for
the
2
whole
weeks.
time?
Yeah, we were there for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So what happened is Trey and I got in this small cement Airbnb,
Mhm.
and then we had one of the craziest nights ever, which was literally fucking day 2.
Mhm.
I go to Japan. Trey and I, you guys know, we both like do video stuff for work and all this stuff. Trey does a lot of photos. I do more video stuff. A lot of photos as well when we're traveling and stuff. So one of my goals was like, I don't know how it's gonna happen, where it's gonna happen, but in Japan, I want to do a video shoot with some like some sick Japanese R34 GTRs. We're gonna find some fucking guys. I don't
Yeah.
know how.
We
We're gonna
gotta-
befriend them,
We're going to film it with a JDM.
and we're gonna
cars.
film some JDM shit, right? So that was my goal. Day 2, Trey and I go to this supermarket. We get
the
some steaks.
Get a
We
cheap
get a
ass
bottle of wine, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
The fucking, what was it called? Like
Alpaca.
alpaca.
It was a $5 bottle of wine.
$5 for a bottle of wine, dude.
Tasted like shit, and it would rock your socks off, man.
It wasn't really that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad.
Wasn't
I
that
joke,
bad, dog.
but like it would like you'd have half a bottle, and you're like,
So Trey and I
Crushed.
get a little wine drunk, and we have a nice steak dinner. And we're like, let's go out. Let's go take some photos, dude. It's fucking day 2. We're in like this small sort of little town called
Asakusa.
Asakusa. And
It's a big temple in the area called Sensoji.
yeah, really famous area, but we were just kind of like a little bit away from it.
Yeah.
So like all these little cool side streets. And we're like, okay, let's just go out, take some photos. Literally, and we go out, go to a 7-Eleven, get some sake because you can just buy at 7-Elevens or you can just buy alcohol.
We're like very not slightly crushed. Like we were hammered.
Yeah, we're hammered, right? And we're walking around taking photos. It's all going well, and then we walk around the corner.
At the same time that this is happening, there's like the pre-rehearsal for a big festival that was going to happen around the temple, and it was like people marching around with these big floats and stuff like that. Big like they're mini temples on these platforms they would hold.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're kind of following these people, taking pictures, and
it's like it's dark at this
dark.
point.
Yeah. And we like walk through the temple complex. We're chilling, and then all of a sudden we stumble upon a yellow and a white R34 GTR, and it's like very moody that night. Like there was low cloud coverage, so like you can see the massive Tokyo sky tree in the background, and it's like covered in clouds at the top. Looks dope.
Just insane.
So we start taking some pictures. We're like, fuck yeah, and then we're taking pictures and then turn around, and the guys that like own it are like standing behind us, kind of like looking at us doing this, just like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
They're
we're
just
like,
kind of
yo,
smiling.
we're like, there's like, is this the whips, bro? And they're like, yeah. Yes. And then we're like, yo, like sick cars, blah blah blah, all this stuff. And we're like, okay, well, I'm not gonna bug you. I wasn't really like trying to like, oh, it's day 2, fucking, I'm gonna like harass these guys. I just want to go out, take some photos. Got some sick photos of the cars, but they were just parked, right? Like they weren't in any like necessarily cool area. Like you could see the sky tree in the background, and it was actually very cool at the time. But so we're like, all right, we don't want to like sit here and fucking take pictures of your cars forever. So goodbye.
Yeah.
And we walk away, and then like 30 minutes later, we're walking around just completely different area, and we see them again. Same cars.
No, it was later than that. It was like an hour and change because I took you all the way into Sumida to the
Okay.
share house, and then we did a loop around there and then came
Came
back.
back?
It's like late at this point, like probably 10, 11 p.m.
Yeah. So we pull
and
up.
in another area, and we run into these guys again, and we're like, oh shit, it's the same dudes.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Oh.
they're like, oh, do you want to do like a photo shoot? And
I'm like, yes.
Yes,
And they're like, okay, well,
please.
we're going to a new spot right now, just like around the corner. I'm like, okay, like we'll meet you there. Like it's just around the corner. We'll meet you there. And he's like, no, just get in.
Yeah, and we're like,
so I
okay.
hop in one car, Trey hops in the other. We pull up. We're literally in front of, like, we're right in front of Sensoji in this
in front of a
area.
massive torii gate.
A massive torii gate.
Huge.
Pulling the cars up in the perfect spot, start taking like insane photos.
Yeah.
Do all this stuff. Crazy photo shoot. And like one of the for people that know cameras, there's like different focal lengths of cameras, basically like zoom, right? So some lenses are at a fixed zoom rate. So I went out with my 85 lens that night. I was just like, oh, like it's a great lens for like car photography,
For anything, really.
For
It's not just
anything,
a
right?
Catch-all lens.
but it's kind of zoomed in.
Yeah, it's tight.
And I wasn't expecting all this shit to happen. And I didn't bring any other cameras. I just brought my camera and the one lens. And
Similarly, I only had my 18 mil on, so I had a
Trey
super
had a
wide
super
angle
wide
lens.
And so we're like kind of going off each other, taking shots that I couldn't get, that he couldn't get,
Yeah.
type situation. And this
out of
and I'm
nowhere.
sitting there and I'm like, fuck, dude, I wish I had my 24-70, which is like pretty wide to like a nice zoom, but it's like a zoom lens. And this fucking dude just appears out of the shadows. And
Yeah,
he's like,
out of
He's
nowhere.
like, you want a 24-70? He's like,
No, he's taking pictures for a second with us, and then no, you're like out loud, like thinking out loud. Damn, I wish I had my 24-70, and the bro's like, oh, for what? E-mount? And you're like, look at him, and you're like, yeah.
yeah. And
He's like, oh, here.
yeah,
And
he just has it. He just gives it to me.
Takes it off his camera, gives it to me. He's like, oh, I'd like, can I use your 85? I'd love to take a few shots with that. Sure. So
we switched
they
fucking lenses, dude.
dude, like
Like
couldn't have made it more
the same
fucking perfect.
camera mount, the exact same lens that I had in the Airbnb, the exact same one that I was just talking about. And this guy appeared out the shadows, and 2 minutes later, just gives me his lens.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was just an insane experience, right?
So
Yeah, we got to cut this.
Yeah. It's we got 2 more minutes, so I'm gonna speed us up and get us to. So at the end of the night, we tell the guys, we're like, hey, we have all of our video equipment here. If you want to meet up in the near future, we would love to film a fucking video with you guys.
Yeah.
So the following Friday, it was a few days later, we link up with them at Tokyo Central Station, and we fucking hit the town, going here, there, and everywhere,
Yeah.
and film the craziest video I've ever filmed just on the fly like
Yeah,
that
dude, it
in
was
my
just on
life.
the fly.
It was fucked.
So fun, dude. Like these guys knew all because these are car guys, right?
Yeah.
They knew all like the 6 spots to go to. I'm like, just take us there. We'll film some stuff. We'll film like
Yeah.
some driving shots, all the stuff. We have the drone with us.
Drone shit. Oh god, dude.
And so we go around the night, just film all this stuff, and so fast, going
Oh, yeah.
so fast.
Here, we'll talk about that after. We're gonna take a break,
We're gonna take a break. We gotta
and
reset the camera.
I'm gonna show you guys the video right now, and then we'll discuss the video after.
Sick. All right, yeah.
All right.
We'll show you guys a video, and then we'll be right back.
See you in a few.
No car, walk, stop. No money in my Levi's. Let's repo the move. Always in the dry, still we high. Awesome, but I wish on you. Heart stopping like red lights. I'm shaking, I can't fight it. We're strung out like Christmas lighting, hanging over the fire. We'll push my blade in your tires. We're flipping switch of the climate. If life was far from me, it's far from you. There's no getting by. Touch till I rest. Till I put both hands across my chest. Good night. Till I rest. Till I put both hands on my chest.
And we're back after that cinematic experience.
Yeah, I hope you liked the video.
Yeah, but
I just wanted to make a point of like if when you were watching that, you noticed the drone shot that I think that cuts back throughout, but like the drone shot at the end of the video. I almost 9/11 a building that was beside the fucking tower,
Yeah.
the bridge. I was like slightly cropped in on my like view, like it was probably like a 1.4 times zoom.
Is it
on
good
the
on? Is
cars.
it good on your headphones?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine. And I'm like backing up, and I'm like Noah's like watching over my shoulder. Probably should have been watching for the drone, but it was so far away.
It was
probably
so far away. It was
couldn't-
pitch
so
black, dude.
I'm like what? I'm like okay. And then like in like the side of the frame as I'm like backing up, like this building window comes out of nowhere, and I was like oh, like clenching. Zoom out. I'm like okay, I'm not actually that close. We're good. Turn on sport mode, turn around, buzz, try to get back ahead of them, turn back around, and then I get like that last little bit of the shot, then like the transition to the bridge. Oh, I remember being so fired
We
up.
were so fired
we were
up, dude.
jumping around. We got it!
We got it, baby. Yeah, dude.
And then after that video, what we referenced before the break, after the video, that we were like, oh, we're in Samita, and they're like, oh, okay, we can just take you to the nearest train station. You can get the train back, and they're like, oh, actually, the trains are gonna close in like 10 minutes. And they're like,
They're like-
okay, well, we can just drive you.
Yeah, we'll just drive you back. I'm like, okay. Proceed to
Hard
absolutely
cut to fucking dropping a gear and just be going 200 kilometers an hour throughout the, and I'm not kidding on that, like legit going 200 throughout the Tokyo highway system and being like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
like,
dude. Yeah.
swerving through traffic. Dude, I'm like, we got to one point where the guy, like, he's like, oh, look around. And like, we like kind of come to this like crest of a hill, and I'm just like, bro. Like
Yeah,
the
you see the
whole
skyline.
Tokyo skyline is like laid out in front of you and around you, like this panorama. It's like, dude, this is insanity.
Yeah, and that's the only time really on the whole, like in Japan, everything's transit, everything's
Yeah.
you know, the metro, the subway.
Yeah.
So you don't really go on like highways and shit.
Yeah.
But when you're ripping in the cars, and I'm on the left hand side, like where I would normally be driving, it's a little weird.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck?
This guy's bumping a little like low volume Japanese rap.
Yeah, same with my car. But dude, and then like we were like cruising behind Noah. He was in front of us, and your guy like, oh, just sorry, I have to do this properly. We're in the fast lane, the left lane, and there's a guy here, and the guy notices us.
Hey, is the fast lane a left lane in Japan?
Yeah,
Would it
'cause
not be
It's the left lane for. Oh, sorry.
the right
Fast
lane?
lane's the right lane in Japan. Sorry, my bad. So we're going up to this guy, and Noah's guy was just like, he throws the signal on real quick, goes to like go around him and skirt around, but the guy like moves over into the fast lane at the last second to like let him go by, and it's like that guy's fault. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's like a very quick, like me and the guy that I'm driving with are like, oop, because it looks like you're about to like rear end like clip this guy, and we're like, oh shit, and then he goes back over, slow down, and then you guys fucking zip by him, and then we go by him. I look at the guy and I'm like, Tokyo Drift, fuck yeah! And he goes, yeah, then drops the gear and just launches us. It's like, oh shit!
And that's so funny, dude. That's so funny.
Yeah,
it
the
was
guy-
a little scary.
Your guy spoke a bit of English. My guy didn't speak a lick of English, so
Yeah,
I was
dude.
like,
You told me after, you're like, yeah, because my guy, he would like try, like he'd be like, oh yes, like he would spoke a little bit of English,
yeah,
and like we were kind of like having a conversation, right?
yeah.
And then,
I was like Google translating on the fly with this guy.
but the only thing that
And,
your
like-
guy would say was like something would happen, you guys would almost crash, and he'd go, oh, so cool.
Yeah, it's so cool.
But dude, yeah, insane drivers, bro.
Mhm.
Insane drivers.
Yeah, you know they do that all the time.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all they do.
Imagine doing that, man. Fuck.
Yeah, that's just
God.
life, baby. But yeah, that was literally day 2.
Yeah. That was
Day
the-
2, and
Well, a
like,
couple days later for the video, but
couple days, yeah, a week and a bit for the video, but like day 2 was
Bucket
like
list
meeting
item.
these guys, bucket list item, just out
Crossed
of the
off.
blue, little drunk,
yeah.
fucking just stumbling around. Not stumbling around like I wasn't like, can I take a picture of your car?
Yeah.
At that point when we ran into the boys, like we were sobered up a little bit, and it was respectable, able to take good photos.
But
Um,
it's just the word, fucking.
But
you know,
yeah, dude.
give fate a chance to intervene.
Yeah, dude.
Get a little drunk.
Just
go
in
go
the right
take some
place at the right
pictures.
time.
Yeah.
If we wouldn't have gotten drunk and watched that stand-up special, had those steaks,
Who are we watching? Tim.
we were
Dillon?
watching Stavros.
Oh, Stav.
Shout out Stav. Oh, no. Shane Gillis.
Shane Gill.
Shane
yeah.
Gillis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shane Gillis special. So funny, dude. We were just having a great old time.
Yeah.
It was literally day 2 a week. So we go after that Airbnb. After that Airbnb, we went to the share house that Trey was talking about, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we got like this private room, because normally it's kind of hostel vibes, like
You like
8
share
people.
a room with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Which I did before.
Yeah.
And it was like totally chill.
Yeah,
I
and then
had-
there's a big common room where everyone kind of chills. But a lot of people at the share houses they're on working visas, so they're working. Like a couple of guys are like at hotels or like working here and there, doing stuff. But not everybody's like not drinking, and like everyone's just kind of hanging out like on their laptops or whatever.
Yeah.
And then me being the fucking crackhead that I am, it's like day 4, and I'm like, fuck, dude, because like we'd smoke a lot of weed at home before bed, and this happens every time.
Yeah.
Every time I go away is I start drinking.
Well, so here, let me back this up a little bit. In between the other boys leaving and you getting there, I was hanging out with these guys at the share house for a little bit, and it was brought to my attention that you could get a slightly smaller than a Mickey of cheap rum and a bottle of Coke.
Yep.
And a little what is supposed to be used for iced coffee. They're like these little cups you get with ice cubes in them. It's all clean and everything. And then you throw it away after you're done. I was told to buy one and then mix your drink in it because it's full of ice. You could do all of that and get hammered for about $5.
Literally
So
$5.
here I am thinking,
Yeah, I didn't even know this, but they're just giving away whiskey.
giving it away.
And one particular brand name, not going to say it, but we're going to plug it right here. Yeah, dude. We ended up like, by the time our friend Ian got to Japan, we were ripping like.
Well, when it was just me and you, we had like the Mickeys, and then we upgraded to like the fucking
The 2.6.
the 2.6, and then by the time Ian got there, and we were like, a couple stops into our little road trip down south, because we ended up going down south. By the time we got to Kagoshima, which is the southern tip of Japan, we were crushing 4-liter whiskey bottles in 2 days. Like, and I'm we were,
And it's not even like we were partying,
crippled.
dude. What
No.
we were doing is we were
playing dice.
we'd be in this tiny Airbnb with the 3 of us, and we just play
Watching a
dice.
movie.
We play.
We were
movies.
watching Harry Potter.
Yeah,
and
watching
playing
Harry
dice.
Potter, playing dice. This is the nighttime fucking ritual.
Yeah.
And then we'd go to bed, and then somehow I'd wake up not hungover.
Every time, right?
No
You wake
idea
up-
how.
No, well, because we'd always buy the little. I have one here.
You have one here.
Oh, get it, grab it. These little fucking things. Hold that up for the camera. Let the camera focus on that shit. These things are like. I think it's because it's on person. It's not gonna fucking grab it. Oh, whatever. Okay. Anyway, the thing that he's holding, it's like this little ginger drink, and it's like a hangover cure. You drink that thing and you feel fucking bing bang boom in the next morning.
Dude, you're ready to go. You wake
Yeah.
up like, let's have a fucking mimosa.
So, the boys were just getting after it night after night, crippling ourselves, and that was like. Yeah, that was the way to go in Japan.
Yeah.
Just get drinks.
Get drinks.
And the thing is too, you could like, oh dude, like remember let me back it up. We'll get to this part. So me and Noah, that was like the highlight of our 2 weeks together. We went around, I showed him a bunch of different places. We, ate out, just enjoyed ourselves for 2 weeks. Hung out a lot with the people in the share house, went rock climbing a few times.
Yep.
Met a bunch of cool people. Shout out I'll link it to him, but shout out Max, the boy from France that is now working and like has like a full on life in Japan now. Guy's a beauty.
Yep. But yeah, shout out Max, beauty. Took the boys rock climbing. Yeah. Yeah, dude. So we in the share house. So we pull up.
I want to shout out Max, beauty. Still sending memes. Manny was another beauty.
Yeah.
Jackie, who you only met, she left pretty quickly into you being there. She was another.
What one was Jackie?
The one that Manny was seeing.
Asian lady?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I never really
Talked to her very much.
No.
We were chill. She was
yeah.
cool.
We shared the kitchen.
Yeah.
So like you'd see him making some eggs or whatever, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
"Hello."
Ying, who I met through Manny, Chinese lady that was living in Japan, total beauty. Who else? What's his face? Mark. Yeah, Mark. He's a beauty. Who else? There's so many people.
Hello? Check. Yeah, there's
There you
a bunch of people, but
Oh,
one of my favorite
Lizette.
yeah. One of my favorite memories was when Trey and I we like get into the share house and we're like okay, we're gonna go out, and we're in there for like 1 or 2 days, and then all of a sudden
sorry, Juan.
Juan
Beauty.
yeah.
Oh, we shared some stories, me and Juan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But no, so like a couple days into this share house, which was basically like a 4 or 5 story.
It's a 4-story apartment building that was like, configured so that you could get a bunch of people
Hostel
in there.
rooms, kind of, yeah.
And there was like an empty, like the roof was empty, so like you could go and like there's like benches and stuff up there, and you can go and like have like parties up there. Basically, it was sick.
Yeah.
And like this Tokyo Sky Tree is like directly in the background of this, but like you're in its shadow basically.
Yeah, I'd
So
go up
sick.
there like at the beginning when I was still working out.
Yeah.
I'd go up there and fucking crush some like push-ups in the morning. They have like
Yeah.
little workout gear.
Yeah.
I'd get up like early and fucking be working out or whatever.
Yeah.
Just before we were drinking.
Yeah.
And no, but so Trey and I like we left the share house, and Trey gets a text from what's the guy's name? The guy who owned the
Gomez?
share, Gomez. From Gomez, he's like, hey, or a call, and he's like, hey, is it okay if we like go in your room? I'm like, okay, yeah,
Oh,
no
yeah.
problem. So we come back to the share house, and we're like, what do you have to go to the room? He's like, oh, we had to go up there to fix the wall fell off. Like,
Yeah,
what?
the roof fell off. Like the section of the wall roof fell off.
Fell
the
off
house.
in front of the entrance. Like
Yeah.
if somebody was out there, it would have killed them.
And Juan, he was like, not shaking out, but he was like,
Because they heard
yeah,
it, right?
no, yeah, everyone heard
Everyone was
it,
there.
but Juan was like, yeah, where it fell, like I sit there whenever I talk to like my mom or if I'm calling someone, that's the spot I sit in. So had I just been chilling there, it would have crushed me.
Oh yeah.
I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
that's fucked.
Yeah.
So they didn't end up going through our room, but they went through another one. But yeah, that was God, man. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, reminiscent. There's a lot of stuff that we don't like remember about the trip until we get into it like this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like all the early, like first couple weeks of you and I. Like I remember it obviously,
Yeah.
but it's like you don't
Until you
remember some of
actually
these little
start recalling
details
it, yeah.
until you don't recall these details until we sit down and really get into it. Like we're all over the place because I'm so excited because I'm like remembering all these things, but
Me and Noah invented a new dish when we were there, and we perfected it by
Oh,
the time
yeah.
Mr. Ian
Oh,
got
yeah,
there.
because the play was like cook at home. We eat out for a meal and then cook dinner at home because everywhere you have a kitchen, right? And we were trying to save as much money as we can.
So we were chefing up. We would go to the supermarket, get a big ass bag of rice for the little stint we were staying in the area. We'd have sauce, and then we would get a bunch of chicken and vegetables and stuff. So, but like every time we'd spend like $40, I think, at the supermarket.
Something like that. But it'd
and
last us like 5 days or
Yeah.
whatever.
three big ass pieces of chicken, and for cheap, and for like $7 we'd get this chicken.
Bag
And
of rice we'd get, and then we figured out this one meal that we really liked. We called it Japanese jambalaya.
Yeah, the
That's what
name
we
is
call it.
Japanese jambalaya.
Basically, what you do is you get some teriyaki, some soy sauce,
Yep.
some oyster sauce,
Yep.
some
Hoisin.
hoisin sauce,
Yeah, and some sriracha.
and some sriracha. Which in Japan, like wherever, if you're from the States, if you're from Canada, sriracha always has the rooster on it.
Yeah.
But in Japan, it's a goose.
Yeah, it's
For
a
some
goose.
reason, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's fucking not the same, but okay. Tastes the exact
also-
same thing.
Yeah.
Same bottle, just a goose.
Goose.
So we had this stuff called Japanese jambalaya, which is basically like you cook up some rice, chicken, all those sauces in it, and then whatever, like some like either broccoli or some
We
filling
had
stuff.
broccoli, carrots, cabbage, some onion, and some garlic, and some bean sprouts.
Bean sprouts or peas or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
We'd cook all that up, and then you mix it in a massive bowl.
In a
and
massive bowl, and just
chef
stir.
it up, stir it up like a cauldron.
Yeah.
And then you just muck as much as you want, dude. And it like cost you $3.
Yeah, $3 a meal,
Yeah.
basically a bowl of it. It was killer.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, we chefed it up like the first time we were like, oh, this is pretty sick. This is good. And then when Ian got there that first night, we met up with Ian, and we were standing in the fucking Nipuri train station forever. And he took an exit. And we didn't know where he was, so we found him.
And his phone died.
Yeah, his phone died, right? Yeah. And dude, innocent Ian at this point, because I had explained to Noah You get on the train. You got to be very aware of your surroundings. That's like how everyone works there. Everyone's very aware. Everyone's very like
Quiet on the train.
quiet on the train. No one's talking on their phone. Everyone's very aware of their space and everyone else's space, and it's very
Respectful
very
environment.
respectful, exactly. So Ian gets on the train. He's hype as fuck, and Ian's like, there's like handles that you can hold on the train, like when you're rolling, and just so you don't stop it. Ian's fucking on both of these things with this big ass backpack on, swinging back and
Swinging around like
forth.
a monkey.
Yeah, like a fucking ape, and he's smashing into this old lady behind him, and she's giving him like daggers in the back. And I like look at her and I'm like, oh fuck, Ian's hitting her, and I'm like, I like smack him. I'm like, stop doing that. And he's like what? And I'm like,
She's in the sky train.
yeah, I'm like, it's not the fucking sky train.
No, all
You
due
don't go-
respect, like literally, he's been in Japan for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, you ain't at home anymore. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're hitting this old lady behind you, and you're fucking like, just chill. Like, notice how quiet it is in here.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh,
Yeah.
I get it. And he like turned around, and I was like, sumimasen, sorry. And she's like, it's all good. Like, whatever. Fucking foreigners. And we get him under control, and then we go make our way to this other Airbnb we were staying. It was like a house. We were staying
Yeah,
in a
this
house.
is a sick Airbnb. We have arrived. This is the Airbnb. This is the first stop.
Welcome to a humble abode.
This place is actually sick.
And like the boys, I just thought of another story. So we make the Japanese jambalaya that night. We have a bunch of drinks. We're partying up. Ian introduces us to Dice 10,000. We're enjoying ourselves. We watched we were watching Tough.
We were watching The Ultimate Fighter. That's when it was coming out, like with
Yeah.
McGregor and
Yeah.
Michael Chandler.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
started watching that, and then we go to bed that night. Now Noah, I think I won that game, so I got to pick my specific bed.
Yeah, so the way that this would work, when there's 3 of us, we would be staying in these Airbnbs, usually 2 beds and like a pull-out couch, or there's always 3 beds, but one was always worse.
Yeah.
One was always the best.
Or one on the opposite. One was always the best, and there was 2 mid ones.
Yeah, 2 mid ones. And the way that it worked was we would play dice every night that we would drink, and the winner of the dice game would get to choose what bed they're in.
Yeah.
Every night, no matter where you're set up, no matter if we're there for 3-4 nights in a row, if you lose Dice 10,000 that fucking game, you're out of your bed, and somebody else gets in that bed.
Yeah.
Um,
And I was cooking.
Trey was cooking. Trey was like cleaning up on Dice 10,000, but never when it really counted.
I did a couple times. The one in Kagoshima, I won.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
one
yeah.
night.
Yeah.
But anyway, so sorry. I wanted to get to this. So the first night this is the first night with all the boys chilling there, and we're like, I'm fired up. The boys are together again. We're having a good time drinking. Go to bed. Ian quite possibly has the worst sleep apnea I've ever heard.
Oh, dude. It
In
sounds
my-
like he's dying.
It sounds like a diesel engine cold starting in the middle of winter.
And the funny thing is, that first night for me, because I was sleeping with my headphones on and I
Yeah.
was listening to a podcast or
yeah,
something like that.
and Noah wakes up and he hears.
I wake up. This is what I hear. I hear like smacking, and I
he, like,
sit up because I'm across the room.
Yeah.
And Trey's full blast. It's dark, but
dude.
Trey's just smoking Ian in the face
with a pillow. Dude, I'm not kidding. I tried, I gave him a little fucking love tap. Little 102, and this happened too because Trevor also snores when he was there.
Yeah.
So and I told him, I was like, bro, I was this close to hitting you with the pillow. And he was like, why would you hit me with the pillow?
Bro, it's so bad.
It's so bad. So when Ian was there, I was like, I gave him the same thing that I give Trevor. I gave him a little fucking wake up, roll over, please. You're killing me right now. I need to fall asleep. And he ain't waking up. I'm like, is this guy dying? Is he dead? Is he just out? Not enough oxygen to the brain? So I'm like, I give him a little rough, get up. Nothing. Not waking up this guy. I fucking take one of my extra pillows and I whack him with it. It's not working. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I stand up and I'm fucking full on.
Over the head.
Bam.
Over the head.
Bam. And I'm like.
And that's what woke me up because I heard this hitting noise. I'm
I
like,
literally-
what the fuck is going on?
I wake Noah up, who's wearing headphones, and then Ian's reaction was, and then he rolls over and stops.
but
And
sometimes Trey would hit him with the pillow and it would stop.
yeah.
Like it's like I have a really old PC and my fan makes a lot of noise and I smack the PC and it stops. Like
an
Ian.
old CRT TV. Smack the shit out of it. It turns on. You're like, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ian starts
starts working
breathing
again.
normally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know, I'd fucking hit him, and he'd roll over, and fucking he'd be fine for like 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's like you either fall asleep in that time or it's game over.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I pass out real quick and then I wake up and Ian's like, just right here, how'd everyone sleep? And I'm like fuck
bro.
you.
Bro.
Dude, you
We need to
help.
fix this.
You need help. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you might have, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I'm looking at him dead now. I'm like, you might have the worst sleep apnea I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think you're getting enough oxygen to the brain, bro. And he's like, what are you talking about? I feel great. And I'm like, bro, you need help. You need the machine, bro.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you need the mask.
God. So that was, it's all about, that's what travel's all about, though. You have you link up with the boys and just a bunch of people, and it's like, it's quirky. It's not a cut and dry process. It's fucking,
Yeah.
it's fun. It's a little quirk. So yeah, that was like the first little bit, and then like I mentioned before, me and Noah ended up traveling. We went from Tokyo to Kyoto to Nara to Osaka. Excuse me. Had a day stop in Hiroshima.
Yep.
Went down to Kagoshima, and then came back to. Oh no! So we went all the way down to Kagoshima and then came back up to Osaka.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
We saw a baseball game in
Oh, yeah,
Osaka
dude.
for Noah's birthday.
Yeah, sick
Saw
baseball game.
the Hanshin Tigers,
Tigers.
beat the Oryx Buffalo. I believe the final score of that game was 4-1. Great time. Had an absolute blast.
Hammered.
The boys went.
We were hammered,
I
dude.
mixed a water bottle, like a little Dasani water bottle, with like 3/4 rum, 1/4 ginger ale,
Yeah.
and we were crushing. I was crushing it. We were already drunk. We
On
were
the
like
train.
crushing it on the train.
Yeah.
If the DMs ever leak, the boys are in federal penitentiary for life. The DMs were foul on that train ride. Well, I'm just gonna gloss over that. Anyway, we get to the game. We get jerseys. I got a hat. I got hat and jersey in my fucking thing over there. Noah ended up getting you explain.
So the funny thing about this was like this was coming up to the end of our trip in Japan, and just for like foreshadowing of what comes with the itinerary of the trip, we were in Japan for like a month and a bit, and then we were going to Bali. And we were going to Bali because I had a tattoo appointment for my arm. And that was like $2,500. So I didn't want to like spend all my like vacation money type thing. I didn't want to spend too much money on like the last half of the bit of Japan before we go to Bali. And Trey and Ian both got, like, I should have got one realistically, but what actually happened ended up being better for me. Mm-hmm. The boys got baseball jerseys. They're like $80, something like that. Like sick baseball jerseys. And I never got one. I'm like, I just don't want to spend $80 right now.
Yeah.
Hammer decision. Didn't buy one. And we go to the game. Game was amazing. The Tigers won. It was sick. We were in the home stadium. Just a packed crowd. Like, you go to like an MLB game, or you go to like, just like a professional baseball game in like Canada or the US, and it's always like beer. It's like Budweiser, hot dogs.
Yeah.
Like that sort of vibe. You go to fucking Japan, bro. Whiskey sodas and bento boxes.
Yeah.
At the game. Guys crushing noodles.
Wacky soba.
Yeah.
Or yaki soba, not wacky soba. No, but here's another thing that's really cool is like you go to a baseball game here or a hockey game or a football game or whatever, and let's go Red Wings, let's go. And it's like that's kind of the chant, or like, there's like a couple of like places that have chants. If you ever happen to go to a football game, soccer, in the UK, if you ever watch one, or you go to one in Europe, people are fucking like each hometown has their own specialized cheers.
Yeah.
And it feels like there's history here, and it feels like way more camaraderie. We go to the Hanshin Tigers game, and same thing. They got fucking sections for like specific areas of fans, and like it's
the
like
hardcore fans.
they got fucking cheers going, and we're trying our best to keep up. Obviously, we're not able to.
Yeah, no idea what they're saying.
And then there's like an enemy section that's good for the Oryx fans, and they got their own thing. And then every time the Tigers would throw a pitch, like they try and fuck the pitch up, so they'd be drumming. Oh, they could throw the pitch, and
yeah, it was so much fun.
So, I want to just, while we're on the topic of the baseball game, funny enough, we get home, and it's been a couple months since, and I'm keeping like low key track of the NPB, like the Nippon Pro Baseball playoffs, and the Hanshin Tigers are. I noticed that they had been first place for quite a while, and I'll show the hat that I have in a minute, but their logo is a H and a T, Hanshin Tigers, and my initials are TH, so it was kind of funny that way. But I'm following them. They've been first place pretty much all year in their conference, and go through the playoffs, and they win the league championship, and then they go to play in like the cross league championship, and they win that too, which ended the last one they won was in 1984, so a 40-year drought to win the championship, and they won it in Game 7 against the Oryx,
Oh, really?
which I thought was fucking sick.
Yeah, dude.
And so I was like, and this isn't the first time that I've gone to a place and that their team that I go watch wins or ends a fucking serious drought for playoffs.
Really?
I went in 2010. I went to San Francisco. Me and my mom watched a Giants game against the Reds. That year they won the World Series for the first time in like a long time.
Yeah.
Like a long time. This past year I went to Las Vegas, watched a Vegas game against the Devils, and they won the Stanley Cup. Not a drought, but for the first time in their franchise history.
Yeah.
And then the Tigers won as well.
Yeah. So, the thing about the jerseys, like the boys bought a jersey, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna buy a jersey. I'm just gonna like whatever, like just enjoy the experience or whatever, take some photos, blah blah blah. The boys got a jersey if I ever want to fucking borrow it or whatever. And we're on our way home, and the trains are packed and all this stuff, and there's like a husband and wife kind of in front of me, and it's packed. I don't even know like why this happened or whatever. I'm like kind of in the corner, and someone gets like shoved, and this guy like bumps into me, and then the doors open, and this guy's just like, oh, and he just hands me a bag. It's just a black bag. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, I'll take it. I'm like, okay, thank you. And then he's like, and then he just gone, and then Trey and Ian are like 20 feet away from me on the train. They're like, what is it? I open the bag. I'm like, like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Open it up. Guy gives me like, I've never seen it, like a 1-of-1 fucking Henshin Tigers jersey.
Yeah.
That like
It was almost like it wasn't like a jersey per se. It was almost like a half jersey, half like Hawaiian shirt type vibe.
shirt. And dude, like I don't know this guy. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know I didn't buy a jersey. He doesn't know it's my birthday.
Yeah, he has no idea.
No idea.
He just so happened to bump Noah and was
He
like,
just gives me this.
"Here, take this jersey that I fucking have." Because we were like, "What the like that? That's just the hospitality of the people there."
Yeah.
Like how fucking cool they are. Like
Yeah.
he just gives it to him. We're like, "What the fuck?" And so now Noah's got this like dope jersey on. And
Yeah.
instead of it having like a name and number on the back, it's got like a big logo, Hanshin Tigers on it.
Yeah, I got it hanging up in my room now.
And it's like, you know, party town because like they just won and everyone's like, oh, like looking at us like, oh, Tigers. And we're like, hey. So sick. And like, there's another one. The whole fucking trip, the entire time I was there, I was wearing this old Blue Jays hat that I had forever, and it's covered in sweat stains, and it's disgusting, and I'm just trying to get rid of it. And I got my eyes on this one hat online, and I was like, I'm getting this fucking Hanshin Tigers hat because of the TH thing that I mentioned before. Now, like, the day before the game, I'm like, I found it in this fucking Lids in downtown Osaka. We're going to go, and we're going to get it. And I go, it wasn't a Lids, it was the New Era, New Era store. And I go in there and I like run in and I run
Before this happens though, we went to probably like 4 or 5 stores looking for
It
this
was a
thing.
quest.
All in like Tokyo, all in this stuff, and they're like, oh no. We went to the Hanshin Tigers team store. There's one
in
in
Tokyo.
fucking Tokyo. And we went there, looked for it, and the lady's like, no.
And it was like a quest, and I'm like, no, I'm not leaving until I finish the quest. And we go into this New Era store, and I go run upstairs, look through all their stuff downstairs. I'm like, fuck, it's not there. And I'm like, and I meet the boys outside. And I'm like, I couldn't find it, boys. And they're like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, I'm going to go ask. I have the picture on my phone. I'm going to go ask. I walk up to the guy, and I'm like, do you have this hat? And he's like, yeah. And he goes over to this it's like a cubby hole in the wall, and he takes out this stack of hats, and in the very back he pulls one out and he puts it back and he hands it to me, and it's like a thing of like,
Because you looked it up and it said there was one.
there was one left, and I'm like, like it's here. This fucker hit it, but it's here. And I fucking pay for it right then and there, and I'm like, the quest is complete. We did it. And it's like that guy gave me like the look of like, you motherfucker. I was gonna buy this today. Yeah. He was like saving for someone else. I was like, yes, I got it. I have it just over on my shelf over there. But yeah, I was like, that was like the whole quest forever to do that. And then like once that was completed, we were fucking full send.
Oh yeah, dude, that was so much fun.
Yeah, and then okay, I'm sorry. Take another 2-second break. Okay, so the final, I would say this marks like chapter 3 in our recap here. The final part after
Osaka?
the baseball game in Osaka,
Yeah.
we go back to Tokyo for a day, and we all
2 days.
was it 2 days? Yeah, it was 2
It was
days.
2 or 3 days.
We get back for 2 days, and where did we stay?
We stayed. We stayed in that tiny Airbnb where there was like we walk out.
Oh, the one where I left my ring?
Yeah, the one where you left the ring.
Yeah. Yeah, I left my rack.
That was a small one. Dude, I won dice, and the bed that I won had like a metal pole in the middle of the bed, but I didn't want to sleep in a bed with another person. Because like I had a crazy experience where like we were in Kagoshima, and I was sleeping in a bed with Trey.
Yeah.
And because there's only 2 beds in this place, and I woke up in the morning and I'm like, dude, I had the craziest dream. I was like, it was like a really realistic dream. I was flying this plane, and like I was really like, the joystick was like, it was very like realistic. Like down was there, up was this, and I was just like ripping through the city. And then Ian was like, "Were you fucking playing with Trey's dick in the middle of the night?" Like.
Yeah.
So then after there, I was like, no, dude, I'm fucking winning this dice. I'm sleeping in my own bed. So
funny enough, I had a wet dream that night.
Did you actually?
No.
No. Oh my god, dude.
Wow.
Imagine having a wet dream in the bed with another guy.
Why is he jerking you off?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Anyway, it's not gay.
I was flying a plane, dude.
Yeah.
It's not gay.
So
It's a joystick.
we get back. We get to this place, and we're like, hey, before we leave, boys, before we go to Bali, we have to try out the Wagyu.
Oh yeah,
like an all you
like
can
an
eat
actual
Wagyu.
yeah.
So we find a place in what was it? It was in Shinjuku. Found a place pretty cheap, $60 all you can eat. But if you get all you can eat and all you can drink, $75. 120 minutes, so 2 hours. You just gotta go. You gotta eat.
Yeah.
Eat up.
And it was like one of those situations where it was kind of like the thin slices, and you have your own grill.
Yeah.
And you're sitting in this little section, and then you grill it up. It's
again?
like I don't know what it's called, but
Fuck. There's a name for it. Anyway, Japanese name. So we're chefing up, making all these orders. Fucking, they're bringing us all this meat, and we're like, oh, I don't like this one as much. I go, oh, let's get more of this. Get more of this. By the end, we're like, Ian's had like 6 beers. I've had a few beers. Noah's had
Ian's
a bunch.
had more than 6 beers. Ian was crushing beers.
Yeah, I think I had 6 beers.
Yeah,
and
we had a lot of beers, and
I
the
was
problem
like,
is, it's like only meat and beers.
Yeah,
Doesn't really sit well.
The thing is, it's not just that it's meat and beers. It's very, very rich meat.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So we
Both
like.
sides. I had like a little bit of poteto salad or something like that.
Yeah,
Like it was
yeah.
good. Like the shit was insane.
Yeah.
But near the end, this is what happens. Is like I was told. Trey told us. He's like, "Yo, you click record." Right?
Yeah.
Okay. He's like, "Yo, we got 20 minutes left or 10 minutes left or something like that. We got to order some more. But whatever we don't order, like whatever you don't eat,
finish in the timer, you get charged for.
You get
so I was
charged
like, we have
extra
to
for it.
muck.
So we're gonna muck. I'm like, okay, well, it's a $75 dinner. Like, let's just order whatever we can and we muck. And I'm like, all right. Trey's on his phone. He's like, all right, I'm ordering some more. Like let's do like one more plate or something like that. One more plate. And then Trey like clicks order, and then Ian's like, yeah, like I don't think I can eat anymore, dude. And then Trey's like, I just ordered. How many did you order? Like 3 more plates.
They had just dropped off another the rest of our last order. It was like 2 plates, and then I was just like, and Ian says that, and I like look at him like deadpan. I'm like, I just ordered 2 more plates, and you guys are like, what? And
yeah,
I'm
like, oh my god, you're like, we have 15 minutes.
Yeah, we have 15
Then
minutes.
it came down to the wire, dude. At this point, it was a mission.
Yeah.
And we were just grilling, mucking this back.
And dude, and it's like at the end, you're like,
And we had starved ourselves all day, basically. for this meal because we're like, okay, like in the budget of the meals, we're like, okay, we'll ball out for dinner, so we like won't spend that much. We had like a light breakfast or something like that, like no lunch. We'll just have a big dinner, all this stuff. So we like to the absolute brim, dude. And let me just fucking
Like,
say this:
disgustingly overfull.
disgustingly overfull. And what doesn't mix with that well? Beer.
Yeah. So we go out afterward for beers at a place, enjoying ourselves. And now, from my perspective, you can give me your rundown on this. But from my perspective, we're just chilling, we're having a good time, and Noah's like, "Oh, I'll be right back." I'm like, "Oh, he's just gonna go take a whiz or whatever." Right? Disappears. 10 minutes later, he sits back down and he's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh, well, what's up?" You're like, "Oh, I feel much better now." And I'm like, "Oh, like, did you feel fuck?" He's like, "Yeah, all that Wagyu's gone." And
Gone, dude,
I was like,
gone.
"Oh no!"
I was drinking this beer, and it wasn't a beer. They were quite literally mega pints, dude.
Yeah,
They were mega pints.
Giga beers.
It was a fucking pint like
It was a
this.
fucking Stein.
It was a Stein, and I'm like halfway through this beer, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw up. I need to go right now.
Yeah.
So I like super chill. I'm like, I'll be right back, boys. Get up, because there's other people like around us. I'm like, I don't want to throw up on this table that we're at, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to the bathroom. Fucking, like I'm waiting, and there's like 2 bathroom stalls in this area. I'm waiting for this other guy to like come out the bathroom stall. I'm like, okay, I go in. There's nobody in there. Put my hands on heated toilet seat, by the way. Nice and warm, inviting to throw up into, and I just unloaded all of the Wagyu that I just ate, and I felt much better after. But yeah, dude, yeah, it was not the best mixture. Let's just say maybe don't order those extra 2 plates.
Yeah.
And maybe mix in a few waters here and
A few
there.
waters, a few vegetables.
Few
I think a
vegetables.
little bit of fiber would
Yeah,
go
a
a
little
long way.
fiber, dude.
So that night, we make it all the way back.
Oh yeah, dude.
We make it back. We're chilling in the room. We go to bed. I wake up at like 4 a.m. and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up right now. I'm like, fuck. Go to the bathroom. And I'm like sitting on like the rim of the toilet. Like I was like leaning out on the rim of the toilet. And I'm like, just fucking, like, if it's going to happen, but like, keep it down. I'm like,
Yeah.
keep it down.
But digest it. I paid
I'm
good
in there.
money for this.
I'm in there for 45 minutes. It goes away. I'm like, okay, great. Go back to bed. Wake up in the morning. It's 7:30. The opposite feeling. Oh God, I'm gonna shit my pants. Run. Step on Noah as I'm trying to get to the bathroom. He's like, fucking rolls over. And I proceed to, for the next like half hour, to just fucking unload on this toilet. And dude, I'm like, it's quite possibly, and this is grotesque as all hell, but quite possibly the worst smell I've ever smelled in my life. It was.
You told me that you're like, dude, my shit was so bad I almost threw up from the smell.
Yeah, it hit me. And I was like, and yeah, so I was in there for like probably 40 minutes. Wrap it up, and I tell them, I'm like, nobody go in there.
Yeah, no.
And it was one of you.
Hazard zone.
One of you were like, I gotta go, and ran in there. And
Wasn't me, dude. I got rid of all my shit the night before,
yeah,
and
so it
I
was
wasn't
Ian that-
digesting nothing.
Ian went in there, and it was like, shut the door, and you just hear, oh my God, what the fuck? Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun. Anyway, next day, get on a flight and head to Bali.
Yeah, dude. That was the second half of the trip was Bali.
Yeah.
And Bali was it was a great time, but we went there in June and was the end of June. And let's just say, dude, fucking hot as balls,
Yeah.
brother. Like Japan was hot. Like we were in Japan
was
in
getting-
June and stuff.
it
It
was
was getting really
humid.
hot. Like
Yeah.
it was getting humid, but we got to Bali. I was not prepared for that shit.
Yeah, it was hot.
Now Bali was a little bit of a different vibe. It was more like it was vacation, beaches
Yeah.
type situation. Like
You went from like the ultra like streamlined strict efficiency Japan to full on
Mayhem.
fucking chaos.
Yeah,
in
chaos,
Bali.
dude.
It was hilarious.
1,000 motorcycles on the streets.
Yeah, little mopeds ripping around and shit.
No taxis, bro. By the way, what you do is you pay a guy $3 and then you hop on the back of his moped and then he ribs you around.
Yeah.
Just gotta trust this guy not to crash.
Yep.
And it was a little hard to get used to at first.
We linked up in Bali. with our buddy Colton Beard, who had just gotten there from Australia. He had been in
Yeah.
Australia for a few months. So we fucking hit the town with him and enjoying ourselves, like hitting the club, like Bali clubs and fucking shout out La Favela.
La
Place was
Favela,
great.
yeah. It was like we went there for dinner.
Yeah, and then it's like this fancy restaurant.
And then the waitress was like, we're like, oh, like, where should we go out for like drinks or whatever tonight? And he's like, stay here. He's like, stay here. It turns into a club. And we're like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, come back.
No. He was like, if you stay, like it'll close down and or it'll turn into a club in like an hour and a half. If you guys just stay here, have a couple drinks, you don't gotta pay entry.
Yeah.
And we're like, fuck yeah, beauty.
So we ended up leaving. We got like the stamps.
Yeah.
We ended up leaving, come back, 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
where
crazy.
did this come from?
It was crazy.
But yeah, dude, Bali was good. It was we were there on a mission, right? We were there on a mission. Like we wouldn't have just randomly gone to Bali if I didn't have the tattoo booked. Now the way that they do tattoos in Bali, it's a little bit more fucked.
Well, I think it's that place specifically, isn't it? I don't know if it's like all.
No, it's
Bali.
all Bali.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Damn.
dude. And they do that. You can do that some places, but it's a factory out there. So basically, instead of going and getting like half of your arm like outlined, and then waiting like 3 months or whatever, then going back and getting some shading, half shading done, and then waiting, then coming back and getting more shading done. These guys are just workhorses.
Yeah, they
and
do it
if you
all.
can just sit in the chair for 2 days straight, you can get your whole arm done.
Yeah.
But you just gotta fucking be a man and
Yeah.
sit in the chair. And me, little fucking plain skin, I never had a tattoo before. We go in the chair, and Trey ended up getting his arm done. Ian ended up getting part of his arm done.
I got 4 tattoos in total. I got the big piece that I showed on my arm. I got one on the back of my arm, one on the inner part of my bicep, and one on my.
And then all the
leg.
boys got matching Japanese tattoos
We
on
got
the
Japanese
thighs,
tattoos
but
on the leg that say "funiki."
funiki, which means
It's
the vibes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, Bali was insane. Like we went to like the monkey forest. We had our Airbnb was like this villa.
It was a fucking villa, dude. Big ass pool,
bro,
like
pool. We had a maid that would
crazy.
come in the morning,
Yeah.
and like we were never really there when she came in. But we would like test her. We left some money on the table.
Yeah, just
like, if
in
she
case.
touches this shit, because I had like 2.5K in cash because I had to pull out cash. I had like a bunch of money in cash. This is like millions to Indonesians, right?
On top of the fact that all of our camera gear is
All the camera
inside
gear, like we have like $20,000 worth of shit.
in our bags.
And yeah, so I was like a little bit tripped out, like having this lady come in and clean our stuff, but she was chill. We would like leave her tips, and
it was cute too because like obviously it's like you go into the villa and there's like these little geckos like chilling on the walls and stuff, and they would like we had like 3 geckos that were like eating the mosquitoes for
yeah,
us.
dude, they were the boys.
Yeah.
They looked like the guys, like the Geico.
Yeah,
geckos, like
Geico,
exactly like Geico geckos. But yeah, dude, like we would just go to the beach. You can pay like an old lady to massage your feet
Yep.
for 30 minutes.
Got
$5.
massages.
$5 to massage your
good.
feet.
They wanted to sell me sunglasses while I was already wearing sunglasses. And
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
like,
love to sell you stuff there.
Like, hey, I got
But,
a pair. And they're like, oh, second pair. I'm like, I got them.
I'm good, bro.
Thanks.
Yeah. But so yeah, the last 2 days of Bali was the tattoo appointment for me and for Trey and Ian and stuff. They didn't have to make appointments.
Yeah, it was a walk in.
It was like walk-ins because they just do like crazy walk-ins.
Yeah.
And we go in and, bro, my experience with that tattoo.
Ironing out the kinks, getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, dude. We've been away for a while. Give us a break,
Yes,
please.
please. Begging you.
I'm
please.
begging. I think I was talking about in Bali how like they operate the tattoos. Mm-hmm. It's like it's a factory.
Mm-hmm.
Like normally, how it works is you'll get like half a tattoo, like out here or anywhere, like in the States or whatever. Most of the time, you'll get like an outline done. If you're getting like a full sleeve in one thing, they'll outline either like half of it or maybe they'll outline the full thing. And then you got to wait for that to heal, and then they'll shade half of it, and then they'll shade the other half, and then maybe you got to go back. Maybe it's like 5 sessions to get a sleeve done.
1 session. You sit in chair. I do job.
Bro, basically, dude, in Bali, you pay this guy, and it's cheap as fuck. It's like $2,500, and you basically just got to sit in a chair for 25 hours, and he can fucking just do it. 2 days. My first day was 15 hours, and then I got home, and Trey's was like, what was yours, 8 hours or something?
Yeah, total 8 hours.
Total 8 hours. which is like kind of crazy because they do like the outlining and shading as they
they're
go.
going.
Like they'll
It's-
switch between
it's
to
like
outline it and then
you're
they'll shade it.
you're watching a human printer print on you.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
they just do the whole thing down at one time, or they'll do like the outside and then the inside. And bro, like I went in there, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll like get some numbing cream or something like that. No, couldn't find any. Didn't like ask or whatever. I'm like, okay, like day one, I'll just tough it out. Day two, bro, I'm like, I need something. And then they're like, oh yeah, the only like, because I have a couple friends from here who are tattoo artists, and they're like, yeah, and they've been to Bali. They're like, you got to go to like this fucking,
Yeah.
you got to find a pharmacy and buy this painkiller. And I'm like, okay, like what is it? And it's like, but it's codeine. My sister's allergic to codeine, and I've never had codeine, so I'm like, because I never got T3s or anything when I got my wisdom teeth out. So I'm like, I'm just not gonna chance it. Whatever, fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna suck it up. And I fucked up on the first day. It was a little tough because the guy that I had, so the guy that did my tattoo, he was like the owner of the shop, and he's
Dude.
like Dode Pra, shout out. He's like a pretty famous tattoo artist. He's sick, but everybody else, he like works slower than everybody else on my tattoo, and everybody else left. It was about 10 hours one day, and then they'd come back for like 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours. So like you'd be done your sleep in like 16 to 18 hours. Bro, we started at 10 a.m. or like probably started at 11 a.m. I didn't get out of there till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
There was nobody else in the shop. I was literally in there. I had a vape and fucking Zins that I found in Japan, like these fucking Japanese Zins, nuts.
Yeah.
And dude, I was just toughing it out. I just had like I was just hitting the
They
vape.
were actual white foxes.
Yeah, they're white foxes. We found them in like Osaka.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just hitting the vape. Every time I'd hit the vape, it would like slightly lower the pain. So I was just chuffing this thing. I had a big like I didn't have any Coca-Cola. They told me like you gotta have Coca-Cola for the second day. I didn't know that because I was like fucking.
Oh, for the first day I brought you some.
Oh, you brought me some,
Yeah.
but I didn't have any at the beginning. And yeah, dude, it was just learning experience. I didn't like tap out or do anything. It was just a fuck process. Once you get into like past 10 hours, like you start like fucking shaking. Like my leg was starting to like shake a little bit because you're in so much like trauma. Like it's a lot of trauma. And yeah, dude, it was. I'd go back and get my other arm done. Probably going to, but
Just like, so from my perspective, they were going up like, started on my wrist, and it's like the burning like the 7 fucking rings of hell. And I'm like, fuck, I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck me. And I found that when I actually looked at the guy, like stared at the fucking process of him going through, like watched the needle dig into my skin, I actually hurt a lot less. So I was just like sitting there watching it. I finish up, and they're like, I'd have a break and go look at Noah. And I'm like, I'd like look over at this guy, and this guy, it's like the fucking 1,000-yard stare, dude, like painting of a fucking Marine in World War II. And I'm like looking at Noah, and he's just sitting there with his arm like, I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's dialed in. Let's go see what Ian's up to. Go upstairs, and Ian's like getting his tattoo done, sick tattoo. When he's going, like the guy's digging in, and Ian's like, like, ugh.
I didn't
So
see Ian. I
funny.
saw Ian one time, and he's just like,
Yeah. It's so fucking funny. I just love it was like the pain tolerance level. It was like,
what made it easier was everybody else was doing it all the same time. That probably made it a little bit easier. Like it'd be pretty tough to go in just like by yourself.
bro, there was one fucking guy who was getting his leg done beside me. Like you were on the one side of me, and this guy was on the other side of me. He's getting his leg done with like some crazy like geometric shit, and like on the top of his foot, like your leg, goes like this, and then it's like your foot. On the top of the foot, it was like this fucking spreading, like a spread eagle owl, basically, like it wings out. And I was like, holy fuck, like that's very detailed. And like afterward, I got me and Noah some food after I finished, and I'm like talking to bro, and I'm like fucking, because I could see him. It was like, dude, he was like hugging this pillow when the guy was like doing his leg, and it's like obviously like he's a fucking big guy, tough guy. But it's like obviously fucking brutal because you're on bone at that point. And it's like, fuck me, that would be brutal. Anyway, so he's like he getting it done, and I see him after, and he's like having a bit of a break with his lady there. And I'm like, bro, you are a fucking warrior to tough that out. That's brutal. Like top of the foot like that. Fuck me. And he's like, yeah, that's nothing. That wasn't even shit. The part that was the worst was like the pit of my knee. He's like, dude, it felt like someone was taking razor blades and like lacerating the back of your knee. And every time I take a step, it like reopens all
Yeah.
of the wounds. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Fuck
Dude,
me. 'Cause
I
they have
remember
any
when we
nerve
went in
endings
there, because I learned about this place and a tattoo artist from guys from like my MMA gym. Like my coach has gone there, and both my coaches got their tattoos from this guy, like their leg and their arm, and one of the guys got his back. Like they've all gone multiple times to this guy, and then he's like, he's insane. Like just go here. I'm like, okay, so that's why we went there.
Yeah.
And when we get to Bali the next day, my plan was I need to go get this cash out, and I need to go to the tattoo studio and like double check to make sure everything's like good. Double check my appointment, right? Yeah. So we go to the tattoo studio, and it was like a 20-minute walk, and it was fucking a million degrees outside. That's all I remember, dude. We had to stop at that gas station.
Yeah, to get some fucking sunscreen
and shit, dude. Because I'm an idiot, and I put my fucking my sunscreen that I was in my check bag that I never checked and brought through the carry-on, so they stole my sunscreen.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Fun fact, that's actually my bag.
Yeah, it is Trey's bag. But so we end up making it to the shop, and I remember I'm in there, and like people are looking at me kind of like, because they see like guys like it's like tattoos go from like, oh, you get like a small tattoo, that's kind of like entry, and then other things. Doing a full sleeve or a full leg or something like that in
the rip.
2 days straight is
It's like going from being a virgin to BBC.
Basically, dude. Bukake.
Yeah.
Just a gangbang right out the gate, right?
Yeah. Start you off.
Yeah, start you off with 5 massive black guys.
Yeah.
Start you off with a starting lineup of like the Golden State Warriors.
No, not even that. Like the O-line.
The O-line.
For the fucking Chiefs.
Yeah, the O-line, the Chiefs fucking start you off. But like we go in there, and there's a guy in a chair getting his leg done, and he's looking at me, and he's like biting down on like a towel, and I make eye contact with this guy, and he looks at me, and he's like, he's like giving me like, he's like, don't do it,
don't do it, you bastard.
I'm like, fucking what the fuck?
Yeah.
All
those guys were funny.
So I ended up making it back at like 2 a.m. The guys are all still in the room and stuff. You were packing because you were going back to Japan.
I was leaving the next day, yeah, because I was heading back a day earlier than the boys.
And
so we had like a breakfast together.
Yeah.
And then Noah's like, I got a jet, and then he fucking takes off, and then I'm like, I left. Like you went back to the tattoo appointment. I grabbed my bag, and I'm like, fucking, I'm heading out. And I'm like, I walk out the door, and I'm like, I have no idea how the fuck I'm gonna get back to the fucking airport.
Oh, really?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
And I'm walking. I walk down the road for I'm looking not even 30 seconds. Like, you know how we would go out the door this way and then up the street, and there's that pizza place.
Yeah.
It was like I went this way, and some
that was
guy's
a good
like,
pizza too.
oh, it was fucking gas pee. And this guy's like, hey buddy, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, need a taxi back to the airport? And I'm like, my man. And I was like, shit. So he's like, I get you one. I'll call a guy. $2.
Yeah,
Get me back to the airport. Yeah, I was like, okay, thanks, dude.
Yeah,
maybe more. It was like $10 or something. But yeah.
All I remember, dude, is I was at breakfast with Trey because Ian and Colton were still like they're in the Airbnb sleeping because I had to be back there at 10, so we were there at like 9 or whatever. Yeah. And I just had my head in my hand. I'm like, bro, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm like, I don't have any painkillers. Yeah. I'm like, I gotta go back, and they gotta like connect where they just did the Then, bro, it
was the worst part for me. It was like the guy had finished. He finished all my shit. Like, this is done, and it's like I have like my tattoo. I could maybe put a picture, but it's like it starts off with the connection of my hand to my wrist is like some trees, and it goes into like some mountains. And then a big compass, and then above that is BC with like Victoria or like Vancouver Island on my forearm. So he finishes shading all this stuff, and then I see like a little vial come out, and I'm like, what the fuck is that shit? Get off of me. Don't fucking do this to me. And there's no more, right? And he's like, he like attaches this different needle. It's like a big ass head because before he was using like a multiple needle
like
head.
the 5 one,
yeah,
like
and
the shading one.
Shading, and he goes back to like the one needle, and I'm like, there's no, it's done. Leave me alone. And he dips it into the white ink, and I'm like, oh, it's just probably just a little bit of white. That's fine. Fucking. Like I already said, burning like the fucking 7 rings of hell, and I'm like, oh my god, because he's going over open wound at this point.
Oh yeah.
And like just detailing like the tops of the mountains with white, and the compass with like a little bit of shading of white, and I'm like sitting there watching, and I'm like, what the fuck? what the shit? How the fuck does it hurt this bad? I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
And sometimes I was just like in awe of how like painful it actually was.
Dude, yeah, you're
know what I
literally,
mean?
I'm not, this is gonna fucking sound a little bitch, I guess, but in a funny way, you're sitting in a chair and getting tortured for the X amount of hours, and it's just like, how long can you put up with it? You know what I mean?
Basically, yeah.
And it's like, it was because he finished my forearm, and then he did my my elbow and my other one, and like the inside of your bicep is supposed to be like one of the other worst spot to get it.
Oh yeah.
And he was doing it, and I'm like, oh, this ain't shit now. Like, I'm like completely fine after that bit. It was like my
Yeah,
pain
yeah.
tolerance is now here
Yeah.
compared to where it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, so I went back to Japan, and then Noah and the boys had the rest of their day.
Yeah, I had the rest of that fucking adventure, and then I made it back and met up with Trey in Japan for another day, and then
It was we had one more day of like, Noah gets in, I go pick him up, we go back to our place, and we're like, okay, we got one day. Let's go around. Let's get one more bowl of ramen Nagayama. Let's get fucking one more stand-up sushi with the salmon.
yeah,
You know, enjoy our last day in the area. And it's like fucking 34 degrees out and 90% humidity.
and we have fresh tattoos.
fresh tattoos because you can't expose it to the sun. So Noah's wearing like he brought a long sleeve because he was smart. And I'm like,
I bought it in Bali.
Oh, did
or
you?
The day before I left.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I need this shit.
And so I'm wearing like just a t-shirt and shorts, and then I'm like, fuck, I gotta wrap my tattoo in another t-shirt, and Noah like tied a long Apple charging cable around it and like tied it together. So I'm like just look jank as fuck. It's so funny.
Yeah, we're walking around like,
It's just hot as hell.
That the trek from Bali back to Tokyo to meet you, because you left. You had 2 full days back in Japan, so you actually left like the day before in Bali or whatever, and I left whatever because I had like a 7-hour layover in Singapore, and dude, the trek back to meeting you in Tokyo was so fucked for me because the way that it worked was I get back to the airport. I didn't take the Skyliner because I knew how to operate the metro now, so I just got on the metro, took that around.
The Kise line.
But I fucked up my eSIM, so I didn't actually have any service.
Oh
So
yeah.
I had like Trey's location just on my Apple Maps
Yeah.
or on my Google Maps. Like I had the location of the Airbnb where I was gonna meet Trey, and I'm like going away. I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't have anything. I switched over the eSIM, but it wasn't working.
Yeah.
It comes to I'm like going up. We're staying in the same city to where we originally stayed in when we first got to Japan. So I kind of know where I'm going. I know where it is. I had already like mapped out where I need to go, but I don't know exactly where you are because it's hard to find the apartments.
Yeah. They all look
But
the
I'm
same.
fucking. My trek was I got off at the stop like by the Burger King in Escusa.
Yeah.
And I had to go across the bridge, take a right, and then it was straight away walk for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I had my
Big
camera
ass
bag on the front,
Yeah.
my big ass bag on only my right shoulder because I couldn't put anything because like it's
Oh,
up here.
yeah.
So I only had it in my back, and my traps are just killing me. I had my hoodie
Yeah.
tied, and I'm just trekking along. I have like
Pain.
no sleep.
Yeah.
I'm trekking along, dude. It was 35 degrees outside, and then
100%
eventually I
humidity.
make it to Lawson, which is like a corner store, and I get Wi-Fi in
convenient.
there. I call Trey. I'm like, I don't know where the fuck I am. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm within fucking like 10 meters of you.
Yeah,
Meet me.
I come outside, and I'm like, hey man, what's up? And this guy just looks grizzled. He's like, take the fucking bag. So I fucking take the bag off of him, and I'm like in the Lawson, so I'm like, I might as well get some chicken while I'm here. No one's like, fucking give me if you're getting chicken, give me the fucking keys. I need to shower. So I like, we fucking go upstairs, and it's like I'm not kidding. Like the fucking room that we got, that final one, was probably what you're seeing on camera is the size of the room.
Dude, we had
Like,
one
it was
like twin bed that we shared.
Yeah,
One twin bed that we shared. There was somehow like a kitchen in there,
yeah.
like right beside the bed with
Oh,
like the
and
small fridge.
I forgot the day before you got back because I went. Sorry, I cut you off, but like before Noah got back, I did all my shopping the day before we left.
Yeah.
And so I got I got my parents some plates and some chopsticks, and got myself some chopsticks and this, that, and the other. And I was looking for a nice pair of shoes.
Yeah.
And I finally found the fucking pair. After like 13 shops, I find it. And I was like, I fucking found the
Yeah,
shoes.
because we were like, I want a sick pair of like just a sick pair of like Nikes because
Yeah.
in Japan they have like
A
crazy
lot of-
shoes
yeah, a lot
that
of
you could only
shoes.
really get in Japan, like that you could buy in store. Like you can order, like now they have like StockX and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like you can order shoes online and you'll get it. But
Noah
it's
got
not,
a pair that was like only made in Japan
yeah, they're
for
like
the Matsuri.
Japanese. Yeah, it was like Japanese exclusive and dunks that I got, and we were on the quest for those.
Yeah.
But dude, like that last day, just trekking around with our arms like wrapped up, going all over the place, trying to shop and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like fuck, man.
It's a good time.
Yeah,
See, it's nice because next time I go to Japan, I'm not gonna be like I won't need to fucking get a bunch of gifts and shit for people. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go and then come back.
Yeah.
That'll be that. But yeah, man, like the last couple days were fucking something. And then it's funny because when I first landed, and I was on the Skyliner, and I was listening to some music, and I'm watching things go by, and I haven't experienced a thing yet. Haven't had a day in Japan yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you better fucking enjoy this because you're gonna blink and you're gonna be getting back on that fucking plane.
yeah.
And I was in the airport, and you had just taken off, and I was just on my laptop, and I was just like fucking looking, and I was looking at my new monitor I was gonna buy when I got home. Shouldn't have done that. That was a fucking no money.
Is that one?
Yeah. I mean, great purchase at the end of the day, but like I had no money.
144 hertz.
Yeah, no, it's 170 hertz, 4K, 32-inch monitor drained me.
Hell yeah.
And so I'm like looking at the shit, and I like stop and I look out the window, and I'm like, there's my plane. I'm about to get back on it, and I was just thinking about that train ride, that initial train ride that got me there, and I was like, fuck. Did you enjoy it? Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that was a good fucking 3 months, man. That was a good 3 months.
Yeah.
It's like
Deep
same thing
blanket,
as
it's
my.
over.
Yeah, you for real though. It was like the original like Europe trip that when me and Carson went.
Yeah.
Same thing. And I figured that like at the end of that kind of like clicked. I was like, holy fuck, that was 9 weeks like that.
Yeah.
Gone. And 3 months, and now it's like I might have like a work thing coming up that's 9 weeks. And I said to you, I was like, oh man, it's gonna be the same amount of time that I was in Europe the first time. And that first trip felt like forever. It's like I have 2 months to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
This is insanity. I've never had that much freedom in my life. And now I'm like, oh yeah, that's going up for work for fucking 2 months. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah. So I was like coming home, get on the plane, you fucking land, and everyone's like, hey, welcome back. Fucking, how was it?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. Middle of July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On to the next.
And now it's fucking February. God. And
Yeah.
fucking buddy Colton that we went to Bali with, he came home and he already fucking hopped back across the pond. He was in Thailand and Bali.
He already
and
went back to Bali.
Vietnam.
Went back to La Favela.
Yeah, yeah. Had the bintangs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
so
bintangs.
he's been enjoying them himself. And now me and Noah, every time we see a reel about Japan on Instagram, we send it to each other with the caption, "Ah!
Take me back.
I want to go back, please."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
There's just like there's a feeling that you get when you're traveling and there's nothing you really have to do, where you've already like you have the money that you know that you can spend.
it's all for this.
It's all there.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
there's just like a freedom with it and a feeling that you get that everybody should experience if you have the opportunity to, whether like you just get out of high school and there's a couple years before you like you want to go to college or like you lock down a job and all this stuff, and it's like
It's something that it's
before you
not
get
even,
a mortgage.
It's not a thing of like if you get the opportunity, you got to make the opportunity
Yeah.
for that.
It's not even about like, oh, I want to go to Europe and find myself. It's not even
No.
about that, dude. It's like it's about
There's a whole fucking world to see out there, man. And there's
yeah, dude.
There's
Like
yeah,
seeing how things operate in other places. Like
Yeah.
for example, like I had no idea that this fucking shower could dry me off without a towel.
Yeah, exactly. I had no idea that people were just fucking this nice on a regular basis.
Oh yeah, this nice all
and
the
this
time.
respectful.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that. I'm accustomed to going to downtown and there's crackheads fighting to the death everywhere.
Yeah, and
You go to Japan, there's
no heads.
no zero.
Yeah, everyone's got a place in society. It seems.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, a lot of jobs, dude. There's literally like a person that will like
Dude,
open the elevator
me and-
door and click the fucking button for
when
you.
me and the boys went up to the Shinjuku City Council, like Tokyo City Hall. There's a big viewing area up on the top for free, and you can like see Mount Fuji from there and stuff. And we're like looking, we're like, holy fuck! And yeah, there's a lady that was like the usher for getting in and out of the hotel, or in and out of the not the
Elevator.
hotel, the elevator. She'd be like, "Okay, go in." You go in, and then she'd walk in, hit the first floor button, and then walk out and go bye bye. And then you're like,
Ladies,
So,
see your
yeah.
job.
"This 60 grand a year." That's
Hell
what
yeah.
you get. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I normally I just wrapped up on one of my jobs that I was running for the last couple months, and it was like normally after that job specifically ends. Sorry, one final sync. Like I said, give us a break. It's been a while, but we got back home early July. It's been July, August, almost 8 months since we got back.
Damn.
And normally I've been trying to make it a thing of like I go travel every year after I'm done this specific project of work I always do every year. And I'm not this year because it was cut a little short, so I don't have as much money as I would like to go travel, obviously. And so this year I think it's going to be a little different, but I did want to make a point of like when we were in Japan, we wanted to record podcast for you boys. And we didn't. And because at the end of the day, it kept coming down to this thing of like, we wanted it to be perfect. We wanted to make you guys this video of like, really cinematic stuff. And we were going to mix a bunch of like really nice B-roll in with our conversation. And we were going to make something fucking sick. And we didn't because we kept like, we wanted to be like, oh, we got to record this one shot. And that one shot stopped everything in its tracks.
Yeah.
And I was like, rather than that, I would rather have none of the quality we have in studio here.
Yeah.
And just make something to put out for the boys. Because I don't think anyone gives a fuck if the quality of the audio or the video is particularly special if we put something out and the fucking Tokyo sky trees in the background. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See us there.
Right? And it's like that
know.
makes it, that is the quality.
Yeah.
The quality at the end of the day is that and us and doing it. So I was like, we have a lot of video that we could totally put together and show you guys something.
Yeah.
But, down the road for sure. But the next trip, we gotta just fucking get her done.
Yeah, dude.
And I was thinking, I was like,
travel pods, baby. Talk about.
That's the dream at the end of the day. That is the dream we both want. Like somewhere we can create shit. Whether it be just a simple podcast or some fucking cinematic shit. But at the end of the day, we want to be able to make shit and travel on the road and do stuff like that. Like, that's the dream.
Yep.
But it was like, an album came out last year by Lil Yachty called Let's Start Here. And in the middle of the album, transition between two songs. And it's Bob Ross. He comes on and he's like, in the time that you thought about completing a painting, you could have finished a painting. He's like, I used to fucking, do the sketches and all this shit when at the, it just comes out of here, comes out of you. You just gotta make the painting. Just do it. Just paint the thing. And I was like, I wish we would have taken that
philosophy
to heart when we were there. Because we would have just made the podcast instead of trying to make something perfect. So,
yeah.
We'll take that to heart for this year, boys. Instead of trying to make the best, most perfect thing we can for you, we're just going to give you stuff.
And then...
and if you like it, then we'll like it.
Yeah, dude.
So welcome back. You gotta shake. Your hands are cold. Damn.
My hands are cold, dude. I told you I was cold.
Give me a proper shake. Welcome back.
Welcome back, boys.
2024, baby.
2024, season 2. Season 5.
Season 12.
Season 4. How many times have we been back? 4 times.
A lot.
We've been a lot. We've been back.
We've been back and forth.
We've been back. Yeah, but we'll try to take you boys along for the ride.
Yes, sir.
And with that being said, my friends, stay safe.
Stay hydrated.
And we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.